ladies and gentlemen, good morning to you all. It is with great pleasure that I welcome all of you to the first ever SFC Regulatory Forum. First of all, I'd like to thank the Financial Secretary for taking time out of his obviously very, very busy schedule. As we know, he's busy writing the budget for Hong Kong, to take time off to present this keynote address to all of us. I would also like to thank all the distinguished panelists, the guests, and delegates who are here today. I know some of you have traveled a long way, especially to come to attend this forum. I would like to thank you all and welcome to Hong Kong for overseas guests. The SFC is very proud to hold this forum. It is an excellent and interactive way for us to communicate with a wide cross-section of stakeholders and of the senior management of those financial institutions whom we regulate. I hope you all enjoy and benefit from discussions with fellow regulators, industry professionals, and experts from Hong Kong, Asia-Pacific region, and from around the world. Now, since the collapse of Lehman Brothers in 2008, government regulators have responded by carrying out a massive overhaul of the regulation of the financial system. New regulatory philosophy and tools have emerged, and both financial institutions and the global regulatory framework have undergone significant restructuring and reform. Although the G20 reform agenda drives the process at the highest level, but as we know, most of the regulatory changes actually take place in the US and Europe. There is now growing international pressure for the Asian markets to conform with international regulatory and accounting standards. Hong Kong, along with other jurisdictions in Asia, are not immune from the spillover effect from the extraterritorial implications as a result of the significant post-crisis reform that's taken place in the US and Europe. Here in Asia, we're well aware that we must take into account the lessons we learned from the global financial crisis in developing and strengthening our financial market, even though the crisis, as we all know, did not originate from Asia. This makes it even more challenging, given that Asia's regulatory response are also a product of local economic and political factors. We believe it's time to take stock of Asia's approach to regulatory change. It's time to ask a few key questions. Are we heading in the right directions? Are we optimizing our often limited resources? Are we managing the most pressing risks? And last but not least, are all these reforms relevant to the next crisis? We need to look beyond the global financial crisis and chart the way towards creating a stronger, deeper, and more resonant financial markets in Asia and globally, not to mention building a cohesive, cooperative framework between regulators. Today, we will have the benefit of hearing views from our distinguished panelists on subjects that are high on the agenda of regulatory authorities and industry players. These and other films have been carefully selected for debate during the panel session. Well, this morning, we will hear the views of our global regulators if they think the reforms to date over the last 5 years have made the financial system safer. We'll look at the regulation of investment products, and we'll finish the morning session tackling the issues of market integrity and investors' protection, which I'm sure will be a very interesting session. We'll then break for lunch, and in the afternoon, we'll look at corporate conduct, something close to my heart, and we'll finish the day looking at business conduct and culture in our intermediaries. Now, I hope I've whet your appetite, what I'm sure a very stimulating discussion today. Before I close, I just want to mention for benefit of overseas guests that we'll be celebrating Chinese New Year next week to welcome the Year of the Horse. So I'd like to take this opportunity to wish you all good health, prosperity, and a successful year on the horse. Without further ado, I would like to invite Mr. John Tsang, Financial Secretary of Hong Kong, to present his keynote address. John, thank you.